So I wanted to talk about something that not a lot of traders actually talk about, and that's being a full-time day trader in 2025. I've got multiple six figures in funding, and it's taken me actually quite a long time to become a trader. It took me 3.5 years to get my first funding account, and it took me about 4 years to actually become consistently profitable and get multiple payouts. Now, if you're a new trader, don't try and get rich quick. Don't do it. Learn the skill, get good at the skill, and the money will come. You've got to remember, this is a very competitive esport. That's the way you've got to look at it. And if you think that, the first, let's say you've never played Call of Duty Warzone or you've never played FIFA before, right? You load up the game, you just buy an Xbox or PS5, and you just think that you've got this natural belief that you are going to beat people that are doing this day in, day out. You are not playing against an NPC. You are literally playing against the market. I think there's a stat that's like 95% of traders don't make money trading. And you need to actually really take that in and just deep that is the same stat that is apparent in the business world. I think it's about 95% of businesses shut down in their first 2 years of operating. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that if you want to be good at something and you want to make money in an industry that is hard to make money, but it pays you off really well, you need to work hard like the 5% that are making money. So if you are not willing to outwork 95% of people in this game, then you've got to reevaluate what you're doing. It's probably not for you. Learn the skill and get good at it. Like let's say with music, right? Music, I've done, I've got a few accolades in music. I've done it for 8 years. And I knew that I needed to hit the studio every single day. I needed to outwork people, figure out marketing, network, collaborate with artists. But in music, you can get a little bit of luck. One song can go viral and stuff like that. But in trading, you're not just going to have one trade unless you're trading meme coins or, one big crypto trade, then cool. But you're not really a trader if you're doing that. You're just an investor and you're getting lucky. The second point is trading is a very lonely game. Not everybody that you meet is going to trade like you. You're going to learn a strategy, you're going to understand it. You might even join a community, which I 100% suggest. You need to find other people that trade similar to you or have similar objectives to you, right? But somebody else might understand this concept really well and they just pick up on it and they, for example, get funded within the first 3 months of them learning it. And you might be struggling for a year, 2 years. You need to understand that that is really normal and everyone's got their own journeys with it, okay? Trading is a lonely game. It's a very lonely game. Even though there's so many traders online, it's all about you. It's about your progress. It's about how you interpret the markets, and it's all about your wins and your losses. It's not about other people. There's so many people that learn the same strategy, but they've all got different results. Why is that? Why is everyone learning these strategies and some people are doing well, some people are doing bad? It kind of doesn't make sense, right? But no, it does make sense because it's all about your interpretation and your journey. It's about your emotion. It's about your analysis. It's about the time that you enter, the time that you exit. There's so many variables in there that you have to be self-aware enough to understand what are you doing right, what are you doing wrong, and not look to the next man and go, why am I not doing as well as them? No. Focus on yourself and understand what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. Don't try to flip accounts, all right? This is something that the worst traders online promote. Like Alex G and all these people, they try and flip accounts and they're literally risking the whole account each time. But first of all, they're doing it on dodgy brokers and stuff, right? A lot of the time their trading is illegitimate. But let's even take the people that are legit traders that are doing it. They have got years of experience under their belt. Okay, you cannot afford to be, unless you can obviously, and you got millions in your bank, don't be risking your account to make money. Again, with the first point, is that don't just enter trading thinking you are naturally talented at trading. It's just not something that you can do. It's not a natural talent. You can have a knack for learning it and understanding and getting good at it, but you need to understand that it's all about getting good. You won't be good starting off. You might get lucky here and there, starting off, you might hit a couple wins. I know people that have got lucky at the start of trading, but to be honest with you, the people that got very lucky at the start of trading, it's taken them much longer to actually get good and consistent over the long run. You might think, why is that? Well, the reason why is because a lot of people, if they get lucky at the start, they try and replicate what they did when they had no idea what they're doing. And what they were doing was actually wrong. they just got lucky. And you'll see that in life, you know, in the music industry, it's the same thing. A lot of people might make a stupid random song when they first start off. It goes super viral on TikTok, but they went viral because a random girl was just using it in a video and it just went viral. It had a funny little saying in the song and it did really well. And then for their whole career now, they're trying to replicate that sound. What was the sound that did well? Like, what was the tempo of the song? What did I sing about? When really it had nothing to do with their song. It was just they got lucky that a certain famous girl used it on TikTok and it did really well. All right, so try not to worry too much about the start, whether you're doing good or bad. Just understand what you believe in and try and start to build your model around that. It's all about the long game of trading. It's not about one hit wonders or anything like that. And it's quite a good music reference there in terms of one hit wonders, but trading is nothing to do with one hit wonders. It's all about consistent, profitable trades that over time just pan out. And remember, once you learn this skill, you've got it for life. This is something that you can teach your kids, your grandkids. This is something that you can do, but old or you can't go out or you're in bad health, you can still trade, you can still make money. This is a skill that is worth taking with you for the long run. All right. There's so many traders out there that I know that it's taken them 10 years, 15 years to learn to trade, but now they are living their lives. Doesn't matter how long it takes, whether it's 1 year or 15 years, it doesn't matter. I know loads of people that have made it in 1 year. I've got friends around me that did it in 1 year and I was teaching them and they were learning and making more money than me. Do you know how frustrating that was to watch? Not because I wasn't happy for it. Obviously I was happy for them, but it was more so of like, what am I doing wrong if I taught them and they're doing better than me? Focus on your own journey. You've got your own path. All right. They're going to be good at certain things. You're going to be good at certain things. Just trust the process and trust that you are analytical enough and self-reflective enough to understand what you're doing well and what you're doing bad. The final point is that you need a high pain threshold for trading. I'm someone that historically has had quite low confidence. That's why I got into music. But in trading, you need to have a high pain threshold and be confident, especially in your drawdown periods. It sounds like, yeah, of course, if I have a bad month, who cares? Like, you know, as long as I'm overall profitable. But especially when you're a funded trader, when I have a bad month, sometimes you can start thinking, do I even know what I'm doing? Maybe I need to improve. Maybe I need to adapt my strategy. Maybe I need to X, Y, like, no. A lot of the time, you need to have a clear head so that you can sit back and go, look, let's be honest. Is this just a bad month or have I actually performed really badly? Or do I genuinely need to make some changes here? A lot of the time, it will just be you've had a bad month and you've made a few mistakes. And what you need to do next month is try and make a couple tweaks to improve what you're doing so you can stick to your strategy a bit more so that you can start seeing your profits. I'll give you an example. Last month, or the month before last month, I had a minus 2% month. Even though that doesn't actually sound that bad, and it wasn't, at the time, because I was having a lot of stresses in my life, I had quite a lot of different aspects of my life that I didn't have under wraps, I was really stressed out about this. And I realized because of good journaling, if I would have just closed my profits at 2R for 4 trades, right? 4 trades ran to 2R and then reversed on me and I lost, I would have actually had plus 6% month. So when I looked at that data and I was like, okay, I've had a minus 2% month, but actually when I look at it, if I would have just shut those trades at 2R when I wasn't too sure, it wasn't my A plus setups, I could have actually walked away with a plus 4 or plus 6% month. That puts things into perspective and makes you go, interesting. Maybe it wasn't such a bad month. Maybe I just needed to make some tweaks. Something that a lot of traders don't talk about is that in those good months, a lot of the time they've had a lot of bad trades and they don't tell you exactly how they were feeling in that state of mind, how much doubt they had, how much they were questioning their strategy, questioning their own ability. And I think that's something that's really important. All right. If you know that you've got a profitable system or you're confident in it and you've studied, you've learned, you've done your homework, you're doing your journal, have confidence in your setups and don't try and search for confidence, because that's something that I've done historically. I've always done something where I've gone, I'm doubtful of myself, so I'll just take a trade to kind of give me that dopamine or give me that that validation that I am a good trader. But it backfires, and because it's not a great setup. I've just looked for validation, looked for that dopamine, and I've lost the trade, which has a reverse effect on me. Now I'm questioning my setup, questioning that, when all I needed to do was wait for my key level, that I had planned out the whole time and take that. Okay, so yeah, those are my tips for the realities of being a full-time day trader in 2025. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you think I've missed in the comments, and make sure you like and subscribe on the video. Lots of love.